Hello and welcome to this episode of attaQ. I'm Jakob, your host, and today we're gonna have a little bit of fun with some Norse power, meaning I'm gonna use mostly Swedish-made apps to create some fun stuff. But first, in my first hack pick of the week posting with Jasper Jones, I never made a proper interview with the guy. So just go over to my site and you'll be able to read a very nice interview. Very interesting stuff here about Jasper Jones and his music. So let's go over to Cubases. Now I have a track here that I've made. It's built from a few elements, but it's missing something and we're gonna fill that space. Now what I've done is I've taken a beat from Figure, I've made a mashup in Break Generator, I've also made a sub bass using Propellerhead's Thor. Then I've used iVoxel to enhance that bass line. Now this is missing something, but let's just take a listen to this first. Yeah, that sounds pretty good, but it's missing something, and that's the next part we're gonna get into. Now, for this episode, I decided to, get out of the box a bit and bring something in. I'm going to use two samples that I got from two different sample packs. I buy my samples from Loopmasters.com, and I love this site. It's got a lot of samples, a lot of options for all kinds of styles. And if we go down just a bit, we're gonna find these two, Indian Emotions and Voice of India. Now, I'm using two samples, one from each of these packs. Now I have my sample packs on the computer, so I took those samples, threw them into Dropbox, and through Audioshare I've imported them into Audioshare because it's Dropbox compatible. Yeah, very nice going there, Jonathan. And here it is, the Flute G minor. 90 BPMs, number 7 from the flute directory in that sample pack. And this is what it sounds like. Now it's humanized because a human is playing that flute, but I needed to be in tempo with my EDM track. So what I did was I took that sample, I threw it into Cubases, I cut it up, made it sync to the beat, and actually, I just exported more than I needed, so I need to trim this off. And that can be a nuisance when you don't know where it starts or ends exactly. But then again, this is Audioshare, so if I choose trim, I can make this snap to a beat. And since I know that this is 90 BPMs, I'll just set it to 90 BPM. And it snaps exactly like I want it to. That is bloody ingenious and very useful. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna save it, and now we can listen to it. Well, it sounds a bit dry, so we're gonna do something really nice with it, and we're gonna use that Norse power. We're already using a Swede-made app, and now we're gonna use more Swede-made maps. If you press that plus sign, you can see you have two choices, main in or file player, and file player is actually this thing in the background that plays the files. Squash it, Vandelay, AUFX space. Now these three apps combined make an effects chain that really warms up my sound and makes it dubby. And that's exactly what I want, and it feels like these guys wanted people to create dub using these apps, because I have that feeling that they're into that sort of thing. So that's what you get when you put Clevgr and Chematica together. Audioshare, Squash It, Vandelay, and OFX Space. I'm just gonna press this blue button over here, and it's gonna ask me for how much extra duration in seconds I want for capturing reverb tails. So I'm gonna put in 10 seconds and process it. So now we're gonna import that into Cubases, and we're gonna make something really fun of it. But first, we're gonna go to another Swedish app, also made by Jonathan Liljedahl. Now I took one sample from Earth Moments, then I sectorized it, and it sounds like this. Taking those two processed samples and put them into Cubases. So that's the flute, and that's the cut up Indian vocals right there. And this is what it sounds like. I completely love it. I hope you like it too. Now, before you go, I made this very nice looking piece of art. It's a Swedish flag, obviously. It says fika time. You should Google Swedish fika. Fika. It says yum here. It's actually, it's not Rudolph the reindeer. It's actually a Swedish elk who's eating apples, and some of these apples might be a bit spoiled because he's pooped a bit. Do not forget to go check out the interview with Jasper Jones. I promise you, this is some really nice reading. Fingering my surface a lot.